Right, welcome back. And the Arab Government's Excellence Award aims at recognizing leading Arab ministers and ministries for the outstanding work in advancing governance and administrative practices in the region. As I said before before the report, that this is our second minister to be recognized this year, preceded by definitely Minister Magda who was taken or who was chosen for the UNESCO, very much indeed. And it's of our honor that Egyptian women, prominent women, are recognized not just in Egypt, not just in the Arab world, but worldwide. To shed light on this issue and the Egyptian women role in Egypt and worldwide at large, we have with us, and we have all the pleasure to have Dr. Magda, Professor of Mass Communication. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very
tonight.
much for such a beautiful topic that we can talk about today.
Yes, indeed. Yes. Egyptian women are always a
Could we say it's in the time of the pharaohs?
Let's say of the Egyptian.
She's always been a queen.
Of our old Egyptian kings and queens.
Your great ancestors were queen of the world.
Exactly.
So we have to be proud of this. So if one minister will make it to the top, that means that we still have the good genes. Genetics is there.
Yes.
Let's start this way. Let's start this way.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So let me here start with the selection of
Dr. Hala.
Dr. Hala, definitely.
I'm not that much surprised because the eye of the world now is on Egypt and the quick development that President Sisi is doing to Egypt, not only in the field of construction, but he wants to turn everything upside down, but in a positive way. You know, he's trying to build Egypt, the new Egypt, new Cairo, new Egypt, and the new person, the new Egyptian, after the revolution, you know, the recent revolution, which alhamdulillah, thank God, it was ended. And he started to focus on selecting best ministers to take care of this country. And fortunately, they happen to be women. I'm taking side, yes, I'm taking
Eight portfolios.
MashaAllah, as we say in Arabic.
In the government.
Yes, yeah, I mean, look at that. And at the time of Nasser, it was only one minister that stood for about 20 years. And she's just one only. And now look at that. And even we change on the ministers, the lady ministers. And they are doing well, not only in Egypt, but as you see, the award came from Dubai, you know. And as one of the best, look at this, I was one of the best ministers to take care of her field, work in economics and so on, which is something that we should be proud of as Egyptian, and as Egyptian women too.
Yes, and I have to say here that Dr. Hala Said has her own vision, and she was part of putting Egypt's vision for 2030, and definitely she has lots and lots of consideration, particularly in the governmental work. If we speak about the importance of such an award, particularly to an Egyptian woman, and the Arab recognition, because it was given, yes, definitely by the United Arab Emirates, yes, by the ruler of Dubai, but also by or in the Arab League. So this is a full Arab recognition to an Egyptian minister. Tell me about how do you view such a recognition? How do Arab look to Egypt as a role model for them in order to follow suit or follow in their footsteps?
First of all, let's look that we are in a changing world. Things are changing around us, and now if you see, Egypt is rising now with the power of its own people, men and women. But if we have the role of women is being highlighted, that will give hope to the new generation, studying and working and looking forward for a better future. She will set like a role model to them. And that is good. Not only for Egypt, as you have seen, but only in the Arab world. It means that the Arab world, their eyes is on Egypt. You know, they are watching us. You're on the news, and if you do any kind of success, that sounds higher, you know, always. It's a good recognition, we must say, that motivates you. I mean, it motivates you even in your field, not necessarily in her field. I mean, you see, okay, if this woman did it, this lady did it, why can't we do it as well? Why could we work hard? Why couldn't we work hard and be recognized internationally? Because this is not Egypt. The recognition came from the area, true, but also it is being echoed in the globe today. Everybody will hear it. Everybody will know about it. So I think so. This is congratulations to her and to Egypt in this step.
Yes.
It makes you happy. It makes you happy, definitely.
And a big congratulations also to Dr. Ghada Wali, who preceded her in being recognized worldwide in an international
This is
body.
we're talking about on the role of the ministerial. But if you look also to the other fields, like we have champions now in England, ladies are winning in swimming and in squash and in tennis. I mean, look at that. I mean, that I did not think that we have witnessed all that much recognition. So I'm just talking about Egyptian women today. You know, the role of the Egyptian women today under the spotlight, not only in one field, but it's more than one field. It's something phenomenal. I mean, at one point, at one time, we have to talk about it. Yeah.
Then let me talk about empowering women, because when President Sisi assumed office, he started with saying that he wanted to invest in cannabis. And in cannabis, what he meant here was investing in all the segments of the society.
Yeah.
And he was speaking definitely about empowering women, empowering youth, empowering even people with special needs, and that he needs everybody to contribute to the developmental process of this country. Yes. So empowering women, and how do you view how the president has worked on
He did a good job.
Yes, please let me.
He did a good job, because if you follow since the time he came and focused on women, and not only the one at the top, but he even went to the people in the slums and the villages and the poor areas, and he started to talk to the elder ladies like his mother. This is a kind of respect in our society and in culture, when you talk to the elder woman with all this kind of respect and giving her all the solidarity that she is a citizen of Egypt. And then if you just watch how they are praying for him while he was helping them, and all of them say, Tahya Masr, long live Egypt. You know, it is the national spirit that he awakened within women. I mean, men are there all the time. But when you talk about this segment that for one point was not that much empowered, and here you find them being empowered by the big head in the state. The president is helping them, and he's proud to welcome them in the even in his office, you know, these ladies. Now they will set model for others. And you will see that, I mean, inviting them in conferences, and those who are needy, and those with special needs, all of these things, he did not focus only on the educated, but all sorts of women. The Egyptian women will raise Egypt. I mean, this is like a motto here. He did it, he played it very well, I'm saying.
So when we're speaking about, here, different kind of women's, different standards of women, the very much educated ones, the less educated people, households.
All levels of life.
Yes, indeed.
All walks of life.
Here, let me take it from first the political and the very one that is...
at the top.
And yes, at the top.
Yes.
So we're speaking here about 8 portfolios in the government.
Yes.
We're speaking about 25% in the parliaments.
And about 90 were selected.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, 90, this is a whole lot, which is good,
Part of them were also chosen by the president himself, where he selected some figures.
So it means that the eye of the government is on the ladies to do their job after a long time when they did not have the rights. We did have a problem of that.
Yes.
But today, not only through special, I would say, societies and those who are supporting women, but when the government supports any action for women and telling them that you are doing a good job, they will be encouraged to work more and more in this field, which is something very courageous for the new generation even.
If I may ask you here about this representation of women, and if I may ask you if this representation means how the leadership is, and definitely the Egyptian women from both sides, the leadership and their choice for women to excel more and empowering them, and at the same time women and how hard they worked in order to be recognized as such. So tell me here, how do you view this?
This is a plus for women. You know, we did have lots of, I'm talking about the culture here. Sometimes they felt, some of them, oppression, they did not have the rights, and they needed to have a better way of living. And here the government is supporting them. Go ahead, you're now a minister, take care of this country, you're responsible, giving her the recognition and the responsibility to shoulder economic of Egypt, which is not an easy thing to shoulder. This is by itself, I think so, this is a step that we have to respect, because this way you will find that women are doing their best in order to not to be recognized, but also to fulfill her role, not only as a woman, but also as an Egyptian citizen, which is being recognized maybe in the West world, and in this part of the world we did not have this that way. So I think so. This is very good for all Egyptian women.
Still with this level of women participating in the political life and the prominent figures here, and how do you view the legislations that were put recently in order to put women in their place and at the same time start empowering them in the proper way to assume positions that would really contribute to their own
Maybe
countries?
we should simplify the question. Simplify the question so that the people, when they watch, they will understand.
Laws.
Laws to encourage women in her field, you mean? Or empowering them in order to work better? Or to give her the chance in order to excel in her job? I just would like to know the angle that you'd like me to focus on.
No, actually I'm speaking about all those angles altogether.
Well, it's there. Just pick it up and work. All you have to do is just to excel and do your work in the right way and work properly, and that will do it. That will do it. I mean, we did not have the recognition for a man, but it came from a woman this time and from somebody from Dubai. I mean, not in Egypt, but outside Egypt. This means a lot, and this tells you a lot, that she's working very hard and she got the recognition.
So when we speak about measures taken by
outsiders?
No, by our institutions themselves and by the leadership and the government and all the authorities. And what were the measures that saw women taking care by the leadership and by the government and giving them more chances to contribute? And I'm just, this time I'm not speaking about women in posts, in high posts, but rather also the households and those women who are working in or who are raising their own families and all this. What measures that were taken in order to assist and help those women, from your point of view?
First of all, she was competing herself in order to excel. I mean, also many of them are highly educated, but the education was not maybe functioned in the right way. But now she's put in the position she can use her educational background, her contacts, and her character rose because she did work well before being put in the post. So once she was in the post, she started to work very hard and she got the recognition. I'm not undermining the role of men, but I'm saying that women started to have a kind of a challenge that she was trying to meet. And by meeting this challenge, she excelled. So this is how I see it. She did have a point that she can cover and do, and then she did it well. And that's why she got the recognition. So anybody would be on her footstep and do his best or her best will be recognized.
So now you were speaking about gender equality, not women, not men. So when we speak...
I'm teaching a course, by the way, about gender. so that fits here. Yeah.
Fine, then let's speak it from this perspective. And I mean here, you said if you work well, you will achieve what you...
You will be recognized.
And you will be recognized for your doing.
Right.
Let me here take it from this angle. Do we need to empower women?
Yes.
Or rather, we need to help women work so that when we compare between her work and the men's work, we would choose the most effective and the most...
Why not? Why not?
This is what they call equal gender equality, right?
Well, this is good. This is good because now here is the chance. Being a man or woman or whatever gender, as long as you're excelling in your part, the work that you're doing, that is very good for the country itself. Supports Egypt. It supports Egypt. So people who gave that award must have seen something which is very much clear to the eye that it will not miss. This woman is doing a good job. So,
if we are speaking here about Dr. Hala Said,
yes,
we're speaking about an excellent woman with distinguished...
She's an example. She sets an
exactly.
example here. So I'm talking about her because she's setting an example. But of course, I'm sure there are lots of people like Dr. Hala. And they need a chance to excel in their job. They are ready to do what she have done in their own field. So good education, good learning, and also try to be dedicated in your work. That will sure be recognized.
But I'm not just speaking about women in posts, but I'm also speaking about...
No, even in other fields.
I'm also speaking about the households, the mothers, the woman who is raising her own children. That is also a job, you know.
It's a job, and it's a difficult job. It's a difficult job because you have a changing generation. You have the media, and you have the social media, and you have lots of things that interfere in the life of the people, their personal life. And the woman or the mother should be aware of the too much trends coming in, you know. Lots of waves are coming, and you have to be careful to take care of your children. How do they think? You have to, I mean, it's raising a family. That's not easy. That's not easy. So you have to take care of this as well. Now, if a woman will have her children, all of them are doing their best, she did something for the country, definitely. And she's becoming a role model here for other women, as a mother and as a family. So I think so. Lots of challenges are there, and women need to be empowered. Because we did have problems before. Women did have problems before. Yes. If I talk about empowerment, and if I talk about problems that arose in the society, it's not religious, it is the culture sometimes that stops. You need to do everything, but sometimes the culture says something. They say this is a religious thing, but it's not religious, it's culture.
It has nothing to do with the religion.
Exactly, exactly.
Religion has...
So we have many things to change as well. But if you find things like that happening, and sometimes you have oppression, women are being oppressed, and if you have sometime a woman is being recognized for her work, then we are trying to upraise and just do away with the oppression, and she will feel that she can do anything, and that's why she excels. She feels that she needed a chance, and somebody will back her, she will excel, because she needed that. She needs empowerment.
Well, actually, indeed, this is what I was speaking about.
Okay.
And what I was
today something is like the day for women and empowerment of women.
It's her birthday, right?
It's tomorrow, inshallah. Thank you. Okay.
So
that's a good. That's a good.
But I was just here. Remembering the words of the First Lady. We've just seen her interview, her very interesting interview.
I saw it, Mrs. Sisi. I watched that last night, knowing that I'm coming here, so I said, I better
so
see
actually,
the whole thing.
That was what I needed here to emphasize. It's not just about women in prominent places, but also
wife and mother.
and all women who are doing a job
Yes.
in order to contribute to their
Very
own
respectable
countries.
interview, and she talked a lot about how she deals with her children and how she deals with her husband and how she shouldered responsibility from day one to the extent that she did not have a honeymoon. Did you hear that?
Yes, I did, but not exactly.
What? No, what I'm talking about
Yes.
is she held the responsibility from day one. And now she's setting an example for other women that people have to respect what this lady have done. You know?
Indeed, indeed, with all our respect. But here, when I speak about, I'm reiterating just some quotes, and some quotes which,
Sure.
which were very interesting.
Not Shakespearean, of course. I'm just joking with you.
I was quoting her when she spoke about the role of women who are households, especially wives of certain categories of people who are, and how they contribute to their own lives. I was speaking about her, speaking about the performance of women in our country.
Yes.
So, from your point of view, what do the Egyptian women need more in order to be able to proceed and
push them and encourage them and give them the peace of mind that you will be backed by the country, you will be backed by the people and the society and the culture. You need to hear that all the time, because sometimes they feel weak and they need to be supported very highly. I would go with that, definitely. When you feel that you're supported and what you're doing is being appreciated, that's great. She will do her best. And she needs to hear that. She needs the empowerment. She needs somebody who says, you're doing a good job. You're a good mother. You're good in your work. She needs to hear that. Not only just hearing, but she wants to feel
appreciation and recognition in 2 words.
Exactly.
Indeed. Unfortunately, my time is out because I had too many topics.
I think we're way out. Thank you.
But Dr. Magda Bagined, Professor of Mass Communication, thank you so much for being with us. If I had more chance, then I would tell you happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much for
It's tomorrow
coming tonight.
anyway. I'll be waiting for you.
Many
Shukran.
thanks for you for being with us tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to talk about such a beautiful topic, Egyptian women.
Yes,
I love that.
Indeed. And I guess with that, we end our episode tonight. Many thanks for watching, and tomorrow will be another important debate with another colleague. Good night.